You're listening to the Modern Mom and Dad podcast, a modern take on marriage, relationships, parenting, life, and so much more. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Modern Mom and Dad podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Caitlyn.
And I'm Ty.
And today we are going to do a Q&A, but first let's give a brief update about what's been going on. We actually haven't recorded an episode for, almost 2 weeks. We didn't record it last week.
We didn't?
No, that's why we're doing it today.
No, we did. Oh, well, yeah. Normally we do it on Fridays.
Yeah,
but now we're doing it on Monday.
But I feel like so much more has happened, and we have more to update you guys on, because it's, I don't know. Yeah. I think we recorded our last episode late and then didn't record when we were supposed to last week. And
so, you're right.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
But maybe we should just start. Well, okay, first of all, today's a huge day.
Yeah, my blood pressure is through the roof today. Kansas is playing for a national title in basketball.
Ty's so I'm going to have trouble filming this, recording this
I've got
today.
like a one-track mind today because I'm so nervous.
Rock, child.
Yeah. They haven't won it all since 2008, which is the year I graduated high school. So it's been a long time, and they've had a lot of good teams, and they probably should have more than just that title under their current head coach. But I'm so excited for the game. They're favored. They should win it, but you never know in these type of games.
Kansas versus North Carolina.
Yeah, two blue bloods.
Two blue bloods. What time's the game tonight?
6 o'clock, a little after 6.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a pretty tense time in our house today. Ty lives and breathes basketball, Kansas basketball.
It is my thing.
And I honestly get really pumped during March Madness. That's like the one time I enjoy watching basketball is during March Madness. So it's been fun, and I'm excited for the game tonight. But I keep telling him, I'm like, this is our year. 2022, Kansas is going to win. We're going to have our son.
No guarantees, though.
No, this is our year.
You haven't lived the disappointment in teams where they get knocked out. 2012, they went to the national championship game, played against Kentucky, but they were Kentucky was so good that year. They were so steady. It was basically like playing an NBA team with a college team. So we were just hoping for that miracle game, and it didn't happen. But there's just been a lot of years where we had so much talent, and they just didn't work out. Because March Madness, the tournament, you basically have to win 6 games, 6 of the hardest games of the year, and everybody plays their hearts out. So it's so incredibly hard to win the tournament. If it was like a regular playoff, like an NBA playoff, or like the college football playoffs where it's just a handful of teams, Kansas would have a lot more championships. But because of the way it's structured, it's so much more exciting. It's one and done. You lose, you're done. Your season's over. So that's what makes it so exciting. And you get the Cinderella stories. Like this year it was St. Peter's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the real question is, though, what are we going to order tonight for dinner? Should we do pizza?
I don't even know.
Are you going to be able to eat?
I'm sick to my stomach right now.
I'm thinking we need basketball. Yeah,
pizza.
Or
pizza
something like that tonight. Yeah, I think that just sounds like a really
pizza and beer type of night.
It's a vibe. Yeah. It's a vibe.
So we're having people over, or I'm having a couple friends over to watch the game.
Yeah.
Not so many kids, just because I might be.
Oh my gosh, he's so loud.
During the game.
He's so loud. If you guys caught my reel on April Fool's Day where I pranked Ty, thinking, well, I'll explain in a second. But anyways, if you thought that was bad with his cussing, it's a whole different it's a whole different situation when KU basketball is playing. He has the worst mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the military. That's my excuse.
It's bad, you guys. It's bad. I always get on him for it. I'm like, can you not?
Yeah.
Scarlett's really good at not repeating things. She knows bad words, and she likes to tattle when people say bad words, but she's not. I mean, she's said it before, but she has. For the most part, she
came out of nowhere too.
I think we were playing Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, she just dropped the F-bomb, didn't she?
She did.
And we looked at each other, and I was like, it came out of nowhere, and it caught me off guard. I was trying not to laugh and also tell her that that's not okay to say, but came out of left field. So in those situations, sometimes I lose it.
Okay, there's been some really funny situations with Scarlett recently, and I just want to quickly talk about them. Like the chicken nugget situation.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, what the heck? Tell the story.
We haven't talked about that yet, have we?
No.
So, this was the other week, and it was just a regular day, and Caitlyn cooked her chicken nuggets.
Which she loves.
Yeah, and she normally eats them. And we let her eat in her playroom. She's got a little table in there and stuff. And she got done. I think she wanted, like, sweets or something. I don't remember. But, so we're like, did you eat all your food? And she's like, yeah. So we gave her, ice cream or something, like a small amount. But I noticed Indy was in the playroom, and normally he goes in there because if she leaves her plate like on her little table, he'll jump up there and eat it, just like any dog. Really, he's pretty sneaky at it these days.
He is.
But yeah, I noticed he was in there for a while, and I was like, what is going on? Like I thought he like lost his ball under the couch and couldn't reach it or something. And I went in there and I was like, what do you need, bud? What do you need? And he like kind of put his paw on her what do you call it? Her toy
box.
Toy box.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, did you get your ball in there? And I opened it up, and Scarlett had dumped the chicken nuggets just loose in with her, like, stuffed animals and toys. And I was like, I called her in there. I was like, Scarlett, what are you doing? What is this about? And Caitlyn was working on her computer, and I don't think you knew what was going on.
No, you didn't tell me until later.
And I was like, Scarlett, this needs to never happen again. I'm not going to tell your mother right now. But if this ever happens again, you're never eating in here. And so far...
No, she did it again. We found oranges in her purse.
Yeah, but I think that might have been from, like, the same
day?
Yeah.
I opened her purse, and there's just a bunch of oranges. And I'm like, what
like
is
the little
this?
mandarin oranges. Like, just little... And they're all, like, dried. And, like, luckily they weren't in there that long.
It smelled good.
Yeah.
There's just been a lot of situations that have been happening with her recently that are just so funny.
Yeah.
We set up my old cell phone for her so she can FaceTime like my family.
And it's not like cellular, it's just Wi-Fi.
Right.
And we have it set up to where she can just call like certain contact.
Yeah, so we have like the pictures of the person so
of, like,
she knows who it is.
her parents and my parents and
yeah, so she can be in touch with like my family back in Kansas too. But I showed her how to text and set up, like, the talk to text. Like, I showed her how you can, like, there's a way you can turn on a talk to text. I don't remember exactly how I did it, but you can just Google it. It's like really easy. She
can say, hi, Grandma, I love you, and it will type it and text it out.
Yeah. And then she can also read it. Like, Siri will read it back to her. So that's how she's been texting. But she has found this new sense of independence and thinks she's like the coolest thing. Yeah. And she'll like text me, like the other day she texted me and she's like, Mom, do you want to snuggle? And I'm like, yeah. It's so funny. I'm like, I feel like I have a 15-year-old overnight. Like I'm at the grocery store and she's calling me or texting me saying, when are you going to be home?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll be home. And she's texting Mom.
It's honestly kind of nice though, because I was at the gym and I'm like, hey, Scarlett, go get ready if you want to go run errands with me. And she like went and got herself ready. And then I text her, I'm like, I'm on my way.
Yeah, meanwhile, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And she just like ready, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's so funny. I'm like, I'm not ready for this, but...
That's cool, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it works.
I mean, it's technology.
Yeah.
She's going to grow up with it, so... But yeah, there's just been a lot of funny things that have been happening in parenthood recently, I feel like. Funny things, too, we should talk about is April Fool's Day.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have seen the reel by now.
Yeah, I posted it on our Modern Mom and Dad podcast Instagram and my personal Instagram. So if you guys didn't see it, you should go watch it because it's pretty funny. I got this idea from somebody online. Actually,
she got me really good with the mayo. I'll admit, you got me really good with the mayo.
So,
and I should have known.
Explain what it was.
Known. So I went and grabbed a package on our front door, and I came in, and she was eating out of the mayo jar. And I did notice, like, it was off-white color, like, but I didn't know if it was just, like, the way the light was, like, the lighting in the room.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the F are you doing? I was like,
Multiple
what
times.
is going on? And I was like, what did I say? I was like, what's gotten into you?
But hold on. I had replaced the mayonnaise with pudding.
Yeah.
So I was actually eating pudding. I wasn't eating mayonnaise. It was a total prank that somebody told me online.
How did you clean out the jar? Like... That just grosses me out. Like, you cleaned out the jar and then put pudding in it?
Yeah.
How good did you clean out the jar?
Pretty good. It's just mayonnaise pudding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I totally got him. Actually, somebody commented and they were like, that was so staged.
No, it wasn't. I promise you it wasn't. And I was mad at myself afterwards because I was like, I should have known. I should have known. because all day I was like, she's gonna get me with something. Because she also put like all these air fresheners all over my office.
36 car little tree air fresheners all over his office, because the context behind this is because he cannot stand those air fresheners, and whenever I have one, he's like, so I had to burn
have the damn window open all day.
Yeah. And then what else did I do? He did not like this one, by the way.
Mess with my pre-workout. She put flour and sugar with my pre-workout.
So I removed his pre-workout very carefully because I know how specific he is about his pre-workout. He takes it every day. He loves it. It's like his favorite thing. It doesn't make him itchy butthole thing that he's talked about before.
Oh, yeah, I have talked the beta-alanine or whatever. Yeah. And it doesn't have caffeine in it either. Like, most of them have, like, a bunch of stimulants.
Yeah, anyways, so I was very careful and removed all of the pre-workout and replaced a flour-sugar mixture that looked identical to the pre-workout. And I totally fooled him. I don't know how. I thought for sure as he's making this, he's going to notice.
I remember opening it, and I was like, oh, it looks grainy.
Yeah.
Grainier than normal. Because I think I was looking at the sugar grain.
Yeah.
Like the sugar.
Because it was grainier.
Yeah. And I think I mixed it, and then I did something, and I left it on the table. And then when I came out, you had your phone out, and you were laughing. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you recording me?
But that was after you took a drink. I wasn't laughing before.
I caught you before.
Oh, that's right.
It was before Instagram. I took a drink. And, like, you had your phone up.
Yeah.
And then you tried to play it off like you were laughing. And I was like...
I was reading through the comments on our reel.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe. And then, like, I let my guard down. And then I took a swig of it. And it was just gross. Like... And I immediately spit it out. Because I knew.
I shared it on Instagram stories. He was, like, a good sport for the first, like, 5 minutes. And then he was like, I'm done with these. I don't want any more pranks today.
No more pranks. I hate pranks.
I got him so good. I'm sorry. He was like, I don't like you today.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like you today.
Yeah. He didn't prank me at all.
No. I'll get you, though.
Oh,
I'll get you.
All right.
I already have a plan.
Do you?
Yeah. Just right when you let your guard down.
Okay. I'm not worried.
And then I'm pretty sure there's still, I grabbed all the air fresheners, and then I'm pretty sure there's more right where we're sitting somewhere. I don't even remember
where I can still smell air fresheners to this day.
New car smell inside the house. Forever now.
Anyways, that's happened. One more update. We had another scare. I don't know if it was... I mean, it was a scare, but with our pregnancy. I was pretty
confident, though.
Yeah, it wasn't as scary as the first time because we kind of, like, knew this would happen again, possibly. But I started bleeding again, and we had to go to the doctor. This was our second time dealing with it. But we knew we had a blood clot. We knew we have a hematoma. We knew bleeding's, like, a possibility. And, yeah, so that happened last week. So I was all sorts of... I don't know. I was feeling all of the emotions last week.
But it turned out to be like a really cool thing because we could see the baby moving. And
yeah.
I know the baby's tiny.
Yeah.
Like the size of a cherry or something, maybe a little bit bigger.
I'm almost 10 weeks.
And like the ultrasound, when they got on the baby, you could see the baby moving. It was crazy. I just didn't. I don't know why I didn't expect that, but like it was like moving his arms.
Little arms and legs.
I was like, what?
So cute.
And then we only got a glimpse of it. I was like, can you just like keep it on that for a second?
I know. I wish I could have asked
if
we could have videoed it. You could
see the heartbeat and everything. So.
Yeah. So we ended up having an ultrasound. Baby's measuring exactly like he should be, and everything was fine. And to our surprise, my doctor wasn't concerned at all. Cleared us of everything.
Yeah, said it's pretty common.
Yeah, she's like, nothing you do or don't do or did do is going to heal or fix this or cause something to happen. It's going to do what it's going to do. And yeah, so we're not on restrictions anymore, which I was shocked. I think
you're still taking it easy though.
But I did start working out again, which has helped my mental health so much. I've only gone to the gym twice since then, but I feel like those 2 days were enough to put me in a better
And when you say
space.
work out, like, people are going to think, like, it's not like she's doing, like, HIIT cardio or something, jumping around, like...
I'm doing light weights and light cardio. Yeah,
so it's, like...
Just moving my body.
Relatively mild.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's enough to boost my... What do you call it?
Like
endorphins, yeah, which I really need for my mental health that I've learned, so...
Yeah, I get cranky if I don't work out.
Yes, you do.
I get cranky.
You sure do. I think we said this in the last episode. You never come back from the gym in a bad mood. You're always in a good mood. Yeah.
That's true.
It's amazing what the power of moving your body can do.
I'm going to go to the gym here in a little bit, but I'm going to have a hard time focusing.
I'm going with you.
Okay.
Anyways, we should probably...
I guess I'll let you go with me.
Oh my gosh. We should probably move on with the actual episode. Like I said, today we're doing a Q&A, and we asked you guys over on my Instagram, my personal Instagram, and the Modern Mom and Dad podcast Instagram to send in some questions. So we're just going to go through these. You ready for this?
Send it.
I'm just going to go in order. Oh my gosh, there's a lot. Okay. Okay, what's our favorite thing about the other's parenting style? It's funny they talk about parenting styles because we were just bickering about this yesterday.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, a little bit. For me with Caitlyn, I mean, you're more nurturing and you're the mom, the maternal instincts. I don't know.
For me, I love how you no bullshit kind of guy. I feel like you can take control when situations need control, and I kind of let situations control me sometimes.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're really good at
you're
stepping
pretty,
in.
Not in a bad way, but sometimes soft on her.
Yeah.
Which is
sure.
It's not a bad thing. But it's I can I feel like I can tell when she's playing a game.
I think you just know when to when you need to reinforce. Or not reinforce, but de-escalate a situation.
Yeah, and Scarlett's been kind of she'll make up excuses like I can't clean up my playroom because I'm tired type of mentality, like that.
Yeah.
And I'm no, that's not gonna.
Yeah, he's that's not flying past me. Yeah, I think we have a really good balance. I think we've talked about this before here, but we do have a good balance on parenting, and I think he picks up what I lack, and I pick up what he lacks, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Next question. Have you ever dealt with body insecurities? How does it affect your marriage? I'm assuming they're talking about me here. But,
I mean me too.
Probably
I think everybody has
I think it's more women usually who have body insecurities, but I think
I don't know. I would disagree. I think men just aren't as vocal about it.
It's not vocal. I get that.
It's not masculine. It's not cool to talk about your insecurities as a man. Not that it is for women, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Guys are less apt to.
So something I have
vulnerable.
Always appreciated about Ty is he makes me feel beautiful and makes me feel loved. No matter what, no matter how I'm feeling. There'll be times where I'm I'm not shaved. I'd like to shave my legs or something. He's I don't care. He literally does not care. He just loves me for me. I also think at the same time, if I let myself go or something, he'd also be hey, he'd be concerned about me, but not necessarily, in a material, or not materialistic, but...
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
What am I trying... do you know what I'm trying to say?
Not in a, a superficial way?
No, not in a superficial way, yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if you're, they did a 180 and, you didn't want to...
Well,
not that you have to work out or anything, but if you I don't know, you're pregnant, so it's obviously null.
My body's changed,
if you weren't all things equal and you gained a bunch of weight, I'd be hey, is everything are you okay?
Yeah, because that would affect more than
yeah.
just my body.
Yeah.
That if I'm gaining a bunch of weight, that's not me, and something that's obviously going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the thing with me is I know what I need to do to mentally stay in the right mind space, and that's in all aspects of life. That's romantically, that's sexually, that's personally. And I think a huge thing for me is exercising, taking care of my body, getting enough sleep, doing all of those little things. And I think Ty does the same, but he's never made me feel insecure about my body, which I really appreciate. Even as right now, I feel I'm in that between stage where I just ate a giant burrito and I don't look pregnant. I just look chubby. I don't know how else to say it. I don't really have a pregnant...
I mean, you have a baby bump.
Do you have a baby bump?
Yeah.
A little baby bump. But I still feel it looks like a big bloat, I don't know. I think most women could relate.
Yeah.
But he's so, kind and makes me still feel beautiful and makes me still feel confident, even though my body's changing. Mm-hmm. And... I don't think I've ever been secure. I mean, obviously I've been insecure at times within myself, but you have never made me feel insecure, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I think everybody's got like some insecurities about the way they look.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're human. Everybody's gonna want
like,
something different about them.
Even, like, there's been times where I like cut down and got pretty lean, and I felt great. But then it's like never enough, you know. Then you want to get like even more shredded and more and you're never gonna be satisfied.
No.
And then like you put on the weight, you're like, oh, I wish I could just get back to, you know. It's like.
And I think once you realize that you're never gonna be satisfied with your body.
Yeah.
Then that's like really healthy to understand, but it also shouldn't affect like goals that you have for yourself too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Okay, so this person says, does Ty regret not having another child with you sooner before divorce? I know you said before how he didn't want any more kids when you first got divorced. Curious how he feels now with the struggles you guys experienced. So happy for you. Thank you, first of all.
I mean, there's definitely been a part of me that was like, what if I was on board with it? Would it have gone smoother? But that's like, it's hard to say whether, you know, we would still be having these issues or not.
I think it would have not have been a good idea.
But yeah, like besides like the health stuff and like the infertility is what I'm talking. But like besides that, it would have been a terrible idea.
Yeah, we
like,
were in no place to have another child.
Yeah, and they say like a therapist will tell you like another kid will not save your marriage.
Absolutely not. Yeah, people should never ever think a child is going to change things because
and that's why I was so like on the fence and like about it in the first place, is because I was like, we're not in a good place, and like it just didn't seem like logical to like, I don't know how else put it, but double down and have another kid, and like when we just didn't like each other.
And I like looking back on that now, I'm so glad that was your mentality, because had we brought another child into the world when we were not in a stable relationship, like you and I were not in a good place, who knows if we'd be here today?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Who knows if things would have worked out for us? You don't know.
Yeah, and you can what if all day.
Right.
But I mean, at the end of the day, this is how it all rolled out. And
yeah. I mean, it all happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Does Scarlett ask for any pets? If yes, what would you allow her to have? Well, we have a dog.
Yeah, we have a dog. She hasn't really asked for pets yet. I bet she will.
She loves cats, but she's so allergic.
When in your guys' apartment, she had a goldfish, right? Or a betta?
That was at the old house.
Was it at the old house? Yeah, it was, okay.
Yeah, Luna.
She had a fish.
This person asks if we have any tips or tricks to quit a 9-to-5.
It's tough because...
Yeah. For me, quitting my 9-to-5...
We're blessed to be in this position, and I was blessed to be able to walk away from my job.
Right. Well, hold on. For when I quit my 9-to-5, Ty was working full-time, so it wasn't easy for me to quit, but it was easier because Ty was getting, benefits and, so, able to support our family and all of that. When he quit his 9-to-5, we went straight to self-employed. Yeah. Which makes things a lot more difficult.
Yeah. Insurance is crazy expensive nowadays.
We pay another mortgage for health insurance, honestly.
Yeah. So like you when you're balancing out the pros and cons of leaving your 9-to-5, it's not just your salary you have to think about, it's also all the benefits. Because if you tally up, like, a lot of people don't realize how much their employer is paying for their health insurance and other benefits, and that just depends on whether the person asking has that or not. But I know, like, when our company got bought out by Curaleaf, it's like the largest cannabis corporation, they actually like ended up paying like almost all of our health insurance for us, where sometimes it's like half and half. Like, so I got a huge raise just by them acquiring us and putting us on their benefits package, basically. It was like substantial, because before that I was paying for a family plan. It was a lot of money.
Yeah, so my best tips would be to look at all of those things that you don't realize. Health insurance is probably the biggest one. Your benefits that you're currently receiving. What else? 401k?
Yeah, everything.
All
401k, stock options. I mean, you have to weigh all that when you're making that decision. And also, like, just because you're working a 9-to-5 now, I know it's like, it's cliche to say, but you could have like a side gig that could potentially blow up into something that could replace your 9-to-5.
Yeah.
You could have that mindset to where you're trying to build something or work on something outside of work. But I know it's hard because I know when I was working my 9 to 5, it was like very difficult to have the motivation to, be a good family man, be a good dad, and also chase other like entrepreneurial ventures like that. It's hard to do all that. It's hard like to do both. There's not enough hours in the day.
So something that I've seen, I don't remember who it was online. I saw somebody online post this, and she said that when they were transitioning to becoming fully self-employed, her husband quit his normal job, like his normal 9 to 5 job, and started working on his like own business, but picked up a job at FedEx or UPS or something like that, at nights, like loading packages just to get benefits.
Yeah.
So
I had employees that were like that. They worked like the minimum amount of hours to get benefits.
Just to get benefits. So if you're willing to do something like that, if you need the additional support for benefits, there's jobs out there that you can do as well, just to get some of that relief.
Yeah.
So there's always options. There's always a way, but it is difficult. It is different. I mean, we took quite the pay cut when Ty quit his job, so things are tighter now, but it's worth it to us. We'd much rather be doing this. And the other thing is, he didn't love his job anyways, so it's like, take the chance now, and you can always get a different job someday if you want to.
And anytime you leave a job, try to leave on good terms if you can.
Yeah.
And sometimes, anytime you quit, even if you've treated the company with respect, they're not going to return the favor. But like I left on good terms, and I feel like I could, and I'm not going to do this, but I feel like I could call them up and be like, hey, what do you have for me? And they'd be like, yes, we get you back.
I'm sure. Like, there's always a way. That's my perspective. There's always a way if you have the drive and the motivation to do that. If you're wanting to quit your 9 to 5 just so you can go lay out by the pool all day or something, it's probably not a good idea. Yeah. If you have other plans and goals and aspirations, then there's always a way. Would you two ever consider doing a survival competition together?
Not with Caitlyn.
No, I'm good.
I don't think Caitlyn would realistically want to, and I don't even know if I would. Honestly, I'm like kind of past that point in my life.
Yeah, no.
Like the Naked and Afraid. Like, was it 21 days? 3 weeks? That's a long time to be out there.
No, thank you. I love watching it, but no. Do you worry your kids will think you've shared too much about them when they're older? I don't think so. I mean, I think we've talked about it in the past. I feel like there's been certain situations where I've shared too much of Scarlett, but live and learn.
I think it is a little bit different when they're like really little versus when they're like.
Yeah, we don't really share about Scarlett.
Like Scarlett's age now, I feel like it's different. When you're a kid.
I do too. When they develop like their own personalities and their own like life. Yeah, when they're babies, I just feel like it's a little different, but I don't think so.
I definitely think we're more cognizant of it.
Yeah, I'm very, very careful with what I share of Scarlett, when I share of Scarlett. And honestly, today, like, we shared Scarlett, like, we talked about those funny things with Scarlett, but that's probably the most I've shared of her in months, honestly. Yeah. So no, I'm really not concerned. Do you get recognized in public? If so, does it bother you?
I mean, people recognize you. I don't think they recognize me.
Well, it definitely does not bother me. I love it when I get to meet people. I think what bothers me is when when people recognize me and they don't come say hi, and then they text me and or not text me, but Instagram me, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I saw you at Target," and I'm like, "Why didn't you come say hi to me?" I guess it doesn't bother me. Or like if I'm with just
grab me, like if you're busy or something, I'll be like,
"Oh my gosh, it doesn't
get over there, take a picture."
Bother me. I get some people might just be like more shy or whatever, but I love meeting people when I'm out. I've met a handful of people recently, and it's just always nice putting a face to a name and seeing the people who follow along and support you, and very grateful for everybody I've got to meet.
Yeah, if you see us out and about, come up.
Please say hi. Yeah. Yes, please say hi.
Yeah, normal people.
Are you religious?
I'm not. So I'll say this. I grew up, like, we didn't really go to church. It wasn't, like, a big, like, focal point in our lives, but I feel like we were good people and are good people. The biggest thing for me is I'm too skeptical. I can't buy into it, like, fully. Yeah. I was never, like, I remember I would stay, like, the weekends at my cousins and stuff, and they were Lutheran. I'd go to the Lutheran church with them. and like they were, we'd do like Sunday school and then like the mass and everything. And I remember sitting there going, oh my God, like my family doesn't go to church regularly. I don't go to church. Like, I'm going to go to hell. Yeah. And like, I was a kid, like a tiny kid, like 5 years old, maybe older. I don't know. But I remember like once I got older, I was like, that's like, I don't know. Like to me, it's like, if you don't believe in this, and this, you go to hell. To me, telling a child that is like, this is going to be controversial, but I feel like it's like child abuse. I feel like it's like, because kids aren't old enough to think for themselves. But with that being said, I also think that it's not a bad thing to live as if God exists. Like, it's like not all of the like Christian ideology or whatever religion you are is perfect, but I feel like it's probably a net positive to live as if there is a God. Mm-hmm. I think everybody agrees that just be good to your neighbor, be a good person, right. Be good to your family.
Right. No, I agree. And I had a similar experience growing up. I remember going to bed at night and being literally terrified that I was going to hell because I lied or something. Like,
yeah.
I grew up in certain situations where religion was forced upon me, I guess. And it was very resentful to me, and it definitely, a lot of relationships were lost because of it with certain family members of mine. I feel like it was always a cop-out. This person in particular who, mm-hmm. You know who I'm talking about, but it was always every situation, every time I would try to share my feelings and frustration would always turn back to religion, and it just always put a very negative space in my mind about it.
This might ruffle some feathers, but I feel like we all know a person in our lives that may have not been the best person to people around them, and then at some point in their life they kind of became like a born-again Christian.
Right.
And now they get very
high and mighty. Yeah,
very like virtue signaling, high horse, and it's kind of like off-putting. And a lot of times, like, and I'm generalizing, this isn't everybody, but like people that do that, they never really like apologize, and then all of a sudden they never really acknowledge the really bad things they did, and all of a sudden they're all high and mighty, and they're, Jesus Christ, and, and then I don't know. It's very off-putting to me, personally. Yeah.
I think we've both just had experiences in life with religion where we've questioned it and seen it preached but not followed, and it's made us both just skeptics of everything. Now, on the other hand, I have family who is religious and who's wonderful about it, and
some of the best people I know are very religious.
Yeah, so we're not saying religion's a bad thing. We're just saying we've had experiences with people in our life who have, for me particularly, who have forced religion in a negative way, and it's impacted my view on religion. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, and I've honestly tried. When I was younger, when I was a teenager, I tried to read the Bible, and I tried to really buy into it, mm-hmm. but I couldn't get past Leviticus, and if you know what that is, it's there's some crazy stuff in there. It's not objectively, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we're not uneducated about religion.
Yeah, I've really tried, and I've studied it, and I can't buy it. Right. It's hard for me.
Yeah, I mean, I would go to church every weekend, and I would go to Sunday school and have to memorize verses, and I was always uncomfortable. I don't know how else to explain it, because I think I just never really fully believed it. Yeah. I think there's certain things in religion that I do believe, but there's a lot that I am very skeptical of. Yeah. If that makes sense. I don't think we've ever talked about this on social media.
Yeah.
Here is the place, though. The podcast is the place, because I'm not about to talk about this on YouTube.
Yeah, and then when I was in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, it was obviously they're all Muslims there. I mean, virtually all. And they're in it. Mm-hmm. 100. They since a young age, they were I don't want to say indoctrinated, but more or less, you know, some of that where, I mean, some of those guys had been in there for, you know, 15 plus years by the time I got there. Mm-hmm. And they still would pray. I forget how many times a day they do it. 3? I should know this. But they would never miss prayer time. Ramadan just started, actually. Mm-hmm. And they would never miss Ramadan. That was a huge thing.
It's all they have. It's that hope. And sometimes religion is looked at as hope. Like, people need that hope, mm-hmm. which is why I don't think it's a bad thing. Well, some people need that. Yeah.
And I've talked about this to Caitlyn and like my friends and stuff. Like, when you think about it, like evolutionary, like humans' lives used to be very hard. Like hunter-gatherer, like like even during civilization when it like took off, things are very hard for humans. And when things are going bad, it's like a survival mechanism to look up at the stars, look up at the sun or the moon, and because there's kind of like that symbolism in all religions that kind of if you look at the picture of Jesus Christ, he's always got a halo behind him. Mm-hmm. That's the sun. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things like that, and that's debatable, but it's like a survival mechanism. Oh, there's a God out there. We can look up and we can see there's a God out there, and he's looking after us.
Right. It makes you feel good.
He's going to protect us.
Right.
You know, like what we're doing is right. He's going to protect us.
And when
he's
something
on our
bad
side.
happens, it's because it's in God's plan.
Yeah, it's God's plan.
Yeah, so it makes you feel better by saying something like that. Yeah,
and humans were, and I might be getting into the weeds a little bit too much here, but humans want to believe things. It's like when we've all had that friend. I used to be into conspiracy theories when I was a kid. We want to believe things. We've been evolved to want to believe things. And I forget the name of the guy. He did a TED Talk on it, and it's like if you're a human on the plains of Africa, you know, and you hear a bush, rustle in the bush. If you believe that there's a lion in the bush or some predator, and you run the other way, you're going to survive and pass along your genes through the gene pool. You're going to reproduce, and your kids are going to reproduce, and so forth. But if you walk past that bush and you hear a rustle and you walk past it and ignore it, and let's say there is a lion there and you get eaten, you've just removed yourself from the gene pool. Mm-hmm. So it's just that like fundamental, like we want to believe things. Like we look for patterns and in everything, and it translates to all facets of our life.
It does, yeah. And just to be clear too, we love talking religion because we're very open to hearing like other people's point of views. We're skeptics, but we have friends who are very strictly Mormon. Mm-hmm. We have friends who are very deeply Christian. Lots of other types of religions.
And we would never judge
anybody. We would never ever judge anybody for their own beliefs. These are simply just like, you know, how we see it.
Maybe Scientology. That I might judge.
Okay. Yeah.
But
so yeah, I want to be clear, like this is just like our perspective, but we don't have anything wrong if that's what you believe. And I think that's the beautiful thing about social media is we are able to connect with all of these people. We don't necessarily have to have the same point of views, but it's really interesting to hear, mm-hmm. you know, the other sides of
I love sitting down with people like I sat down with, you know, convicted terrorists against the United States and talk. I got to sit down with the enemy, so to speak, in quotation. Right. And you know, like we've got a really good friend. He's a tremendously good guy. He was born in Russia, and I like sitting and talking to him about like the current Ukraine stuff going on, and like what's his viewpoints on it. He's very like pro Ukraine. I love sitting down with people with different vantage points, different points of view. Yeah. It's so interesting.
That's how you learn.
I could honestly, sit with anybody. That's like my favorite thing to do in life, honestly.
Like in a non-judgmental conversation, mm-hmm. but just straight up sharing your views, your perspectives, and I feel like respecting each other.
A lot of people get very like defensive, but totally. I'm like the opposite. I'm like sitting down with, you know, terrorists, and I'm like, why do you guys hate America? You know, like what? Like what's going on there? And it's like, well, you know, like I don't sympathize with them, but I can empathize with, like, if there were Russian tanks or Chinese tanks rolling down the streets of America, I would probably be a terrorist in the eyes of those countries.
Right,
you know, like so it's like
I think it's hard to empathize when you don't actually know who the person is, you know, too. Like, but you're actually sitting down with these people. And
an actual human being that's had a whole life of experience.
We've gone more into Ty's military background too. I think it was like episode 3 or something like
3
that.
or 4.
Yeah.
Think, yeah.
If you guys want to go back and listen to that.
But yeah.
Anyways, that was a long answer to that question. Yeah. Okay. Tips for keeping sparks alive, especially when you get busy. Love you guys. Thank you. What's your tip for keeping? I got a tip.
What's your tip?
Just do it.
Yeah.
Literally, like, just do it.
Yeah.
Are you having a bad day? Are you fighting? Just.
Yeah, your partner's stressed out. Like,
just do it.
If you're stressed out,
I guarantee everybody's gonna be happier.
I'm like, get in the bedroom. Like,
seriously, try it. Just try it. Number 1 tip, like, just go have some sexy time and see what happens after that.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be happier. Is that a good tip?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Try it and let us know. What are some things you're both looking forward to in the future? Ty's looking forward to KU being the national championships tomorrow. Tonight, yeah. I guess.
I hope. Yeah, I'm so nervous.
What are we looking forward to? Italy?
I mean, obviously the baby.
Well, yeah, of course.
Can't wait to have a little boy running around.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having a baby and going to Italy.
Yeah, Italy's going to be fun.
Yeah. Best advice for newly wedded couples. They got married in October and they're expecting baby girl in June. Wow, congratulations, first of all. We literally just filmed an episode too on this, on our top 10 marriage advice, like pieces of marriage advice. So I would highly recommend going back and listening to that episode. It was actually episode 9, I think, right before this, where we dive into all of that. Yeah. But if you could say one thing.
I would say just be cognizant of the honeymoon phase will end. Yes. Especially when the baby comes. I mean, I'm not saying that's exactly when it's going to happen, but with the baby, there's going to be more stress on the mom. I'm assuming that maybe they both work. I don't know. I don't want to make too many assumptions, but just know that it's not always going to be like at that honeymoon phase, and you have to really put in the effort to maintain your respect for each other. And
great tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing about being married to each other? You can go first.
You're sexy ass.
Oh, okay. Number 2, what's your second favorite thing?
I don't know. I just feel like we're on each other's teams. Like, I know that sounds cheesy, but
oh,
yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I feel like
it's like the respect we have for each other now.
Yeah.
That didn't used to be there.
I had always wanted I'd always wanted to say Ty was my best friend, but I really struggled with that for some time, and now I'm confident to say, like, we truly are each other's best friend. Like, at the end of the day, we just want to hang out with each other and be around each other, and it's taken a lot for us to get here, but yeah, we truly are like each other's best friend and on each other's team. How has Ty supported you through the infertility and anxiety of the pregnancy? I think he's been right there with me, honestly. Yeah. Like, he's had anxiety, and he's definitely, just as part of the infertility process as I am, even though I'm the one physically dealing with it. He's very much emotionally dealing with it as well. But I would say, you just never gave up. Like, I feel like you were always very supportive of whatever the next step was. And you were very supportive in my personal decisions and like what I was comfortable with, and you gave me every injection for the most part.
Yeah, you did a couple yourself. But.
Yeah, and you still are every day. Every morning at 9 a.m. he gives me an injection in the glute. Yeah. So he's been very much supportive in that sense, but overall, like, he's just been my rock. Like, he's been at every appointment. Emotionally there for me, and honestly, like, just so grateful to go through this with you. I wouldn't want to have gone through it with anybody else. Yeah. So I'm very grateful for your support. But any thoughts on that?
No, I just feel like we're in it together.
Yeah, it's very much a 50-50 thing.
There's times where I was pretty frustrated.
Right.
Just at the process.
Right. And I think
I tried not to show it because I didn't want it to affect you, but.
Right. But I think people think, like, it falls on the women, but it's, like, it's been really affecting you, too. Like, it's not just been me.
Especially, like, when we were at the ER, I was definitely not in a good place.
I think I was handling that situation better than you were, surprisingly.
I was just mad. Yeah, I was just so mad. Yeah. But it all turned out, you know.
Yeah, everything was fine. We got to trust that little baby. He's here to stay. Okay, we're going to do one more question for today's episode, and that is, what's your favorite date night?
I don't know.
My favorite date night, I'll go first, since I know. It has to do
with... What do you guys have in common? I don't know.
What's your favorite date night?
Looked at me like you're going to kill me that day.
Honestly, like, I'm cool with just, like, a nice dinner. Like, I like to eat food.
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse is bomb. Like, it doesn't need to be fancy. Like, just get me some rolls and call it good. No, I've always loved, like, going out to eat ever since I was a little kid. I feel like as I've gotten older, I also, like, respect DoorDash and less crowds. But overall, I like eating out. A good dinner by ourselves.
Mine would probably be like going to the movies or something. We haven't done that for a minute, but
yeah,
that's probably my favorite thing.
It's definitely not mine, but
if there's a good movie, I don't want to like go to just some half-assed
I
movie.
love going to the movies, but I get so tired.
Yeah.
That dark room. We have to go to like a matinee.
Yeah, I mean, I'd follow that.
I'm so down for a matinee. Anyways, that's gonna wrap up our episode today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Definitely a little spicy. Talk about things we're not supposed to.
Talking about religion.
What are the three things you're not supposed to talk about?
Politics, religion. Is it 3?
Money, politics, and religion?
Yeah, money, politics, religion, yeah.
We talked about a little bit of money, a little bit of religion. Ooh, you should throw in some politics really fast. Yeah. One note on politics.
Joe Biden's terrible, but so was Trump.
Okay.
Everyone's going to hate me.
Oh my gosh. Okay. But I mean, I think most people will also agree with that statement, though.
Yeah. That's probably true.
Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to follow along with us more? We would love that. Follow us over on YouTube and Instagram at The Modern Mom and Dad Podcast to interact with us, ask us questions, and to see behind the scenes. Thanks for listening to the Modern Mom and Dad Podcast, and we will see you next Tuesday.